Welcome back to the Guns Complete podcast, featuring myself, Spencer, my co-host Matt with Nintendo Gaming TV, and from a long time ago, but also today and tomorrow, he is everywhere and nowhere, and at all times in space. Super massive FistCake. You know, like a supermassive black hole?
Okay. I was confused. I don't
I thought
understand.
you were just being really insulting there.
I know, yeah. I
know.
realized after I said it out loud, I'm like, that sounds mean.
Supermassive FistCake. He's so fat. He occupies all time and space.
I was thinking you were like an interdimensional being, but
I'm on to you. It's always a fat joke. I know.
God damn it.
I
It's
know,
never a
deep
fat
down
joke.
It's always a fat joke. God damn it.
All right, so we're going to start with what we played this week. FistCake starts off.
Okay, I played games this week, but I mean, who cares about that? I played Devil May Cry 5 the last 2 days because every time I would go onto YouTube, there would be like some weird minor spoiler video that would be in my recommended section. It's like, blah, blah, blah does this thing, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, I would have rather find out by myself, but that's fine. I guess I know that's
Guess I'll just be spoiled then.
I
think
guess
people are
that's
getting
going to happen.
Yeah, people are getting more and more brazen with just like doing whatever when it comes to like, just to be able to make a video to get, clicks or whatever.
Oh, yeah,
it's really unfortunate.
It's
Nobody
like
has any
so,
standards.
It's to the point where the title of the video doesn't have like spoilers on it anymore. It's just literally what's happening and what the character is doing. That's a spoil, and it's like, oh, okay, great. It's just, I guess I'll never have that. But anyways, so I beat it. Still had to get to the secret ending, and the way to get to the secret ending is pretty cool too in its own way. It's very fun. Very good game. Highly recommended it. 10 out of 10. I'm probably gonna play it forever. It's gotta say to the level of not quality, but like how much hype it is, because I went through that and I still haven't finished Resident Evil 2, and I still love that game as well. I just haven't had time.
Because you've been playing this other game, you've been cheating on it.
Yeah, pretty
What's
much.
up, Star Kid?
How's it going, Star Kid?
Hey, Star Kid. So it's an amazing game. I would highly recommend everybody playing it. Your friends, your family, your loved ones.
Oh, I played it.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, oh yeah. You streamed it Friday, right?
Yeah, Friday. It's a lot slower than I anticipated for a spectacle fighter. I don't really like how there's not like a dedicated dodge button. Instead, you have to use their kind of shitty lock-on system, and then A, left and right is the dodge, which is just not fluid.
Different. Man, it's different for each character.
Is it different for each character?
Yeah, Nero is the lock on. Like you have to absolutely lock on with that. V, I think, gets one, but it's basically you can either dodge with your cat side to side, or your bird picks you up and just throws you back a little bit. And Dante has like, the thing with these characters, it's like each one has like so many varied abilities and whatnot, and except for V's kind of like straightforward. It's like you have a bird that does the range stuff, you have a cat that does the melee stuff, and then you have a giant behemoth come from the sky
and does whatever the fuck he wants.
Until you can eventually ride him, and that's a hit or miss sometimes. I guess I haven't unlocked all his combos yet either, but out of all of them, I think V is probably my least favorite, but he's not. I still enjoyed playing him. It just he's
so far, yeah. He was my least favorite as well. I was into him at first. I was like, "This is cool. It's kind of neat."
Yeah.
Oh, pets.
And then he's like, depending on the AI and the targeting is not good, because you're like, all right, yeah, sick. Attack the freaking, I don't know, tentacle thing. And your cat's like, nah, I want to like do a spin move in the right here. I'm not moving.
Yeah.
And you're like, my dude, I'm locked on. Do it. All right, bird.
Yeah.
Oh, bird's dead.
Bird's
all
dead.
right, now I got to go over there and pet him. Make sure he's all right. But I don't know. It was just extremely clunky to me.
Oh yeah, with V, it's kind of like it's not the best it's ever been. But the other ones are a lot more fluid and whatnot. With Nero, The thing is with the characters, it's like you're not supposed to lock on onto all the enemies at all times. It's weird. It doesn't make sense at first, but like once you get like more combos and more abilities and whatnot, you can start like chaining stuff together.
Yeah, I was doing that with Nero, with V. I was like, I don't even know if I want to dump points into you.
Nah.
Because
I highly recommend it. Otherwise, it's going to be harder later on. Yeah. the problem is you have to play them in missions. Otherwise, yeah, I would say like, yeah, don't worry about him. But no, you still got a long way to go with him. What was I going to say? Yeah, Nero's pretty cool. I enjoy all his double breaker arms. They just get more intense and crazy later on. It's like, oh, okay, this one literally just powers up my sword and gun into fucking like.
Yeah, what's the revving? What, you rev your sword up?
Oh yeah, you got a motorcycle sword gun.
Yeah, but like I upgraded it and I got like 3 revs on it now, and I'll rev it, and that shit doesn't seem to do nothing. I'm like rev it, and then I'll do a combo, or I'll rev it during a combo, and then I'll rev it before. Like, he's just like, and then that seems to be like, oh, cool. Now I got a sound effect.
Well, it deals more damage is what it does, and it's interesting because you can like pre-rev it, like you can just rev it normally, but you can also like hit somebody, and after you get done with the hit, you can rev it for like an automatic like charge, like a full charge. And you can just keep chaining that to deal more damage and rev it at the, just. But
does it have any kind of graphical difference?
Graphical difference?
Yeah, like can you tell when it's actually working? Because I couldn't really tell. It would get like a little redder.
On the sword itself, it turns on fire. Like whenever you do attack, it deals like flame attacks.
Fucking go on fire. I was revving the shit out of that.
Maybe you have a low rev. Yeah.
I got low RPMs.
You might not be doing it right.
Maybe not fully revving it.
The thing is, like to pre-rev it, like you're probably trying to do, you have to like, you can't just rapidly press it. You have to like tap, hold.
Okay, so yeah, I'm a rapid presser.
Oh, so you were like partial revving. You weren't even full revving.
I wasn't full revving.
See, you weren't even full rev, bro.
You got to go full rev.
You got to go full rev. Does the game get faster, or are there characters that are faster, or does it stay kind of like that same flow?
The speed is stays about the same, but what happens is you get a larger variety of enemies, and you have like basically different toolkits with each character, like except for V's the same the whole way through, but that's whatever. But Nero's gets new arms. You have like an arm that can like automatically kill an enemy if you time it just like with a perfect parry. You have an arm like the Tomboy, my favorite arm. It basically powers up your sword, so you're doing like your sword's like constantly on fire, like it's max rev all the time, and your gun basically turns into like a rail gun. What else is there? There's the Gerbia or whatever that basically allows you to do the Monster Hunter Volt.
Yeah, like so I couldn't imagine playing the game without using the tether.
The wire snatch thing?
Yeah. Do they all have that, or is that just
no? Yeah, Dante has it too. I think. Wait, trying to remember.
Because it's just like, it's so slow without it. You're like, I'm gonna get you.
Yeah, it's more of a combo based trying to get your like meter go up. You got to get that triple S, bro. Smoking sexy style, bro. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
And you do that by going into various modes and basically jump canceling into other modes and whatnot. With Dante, it's probably the craziest because you have 4 different styles you can do. And each style affects your weapons in different ways. And then you have, like, so far I found 4 different guns and 4 different melee weapons, but it suggests that there's probably more you can find that I didn't come across. But and there's like different each weapon has like different modes and whatnot. You get you have the gauntlets, which have a punch mode, kick mode that you have to like do like actual inputs to kind of change modes in the middle of combos and shit.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I don't want to spoil anymore. You really gotta play it, but it's just like, oh.
So
I mean, I
okay.
liked it. I was like,
you felt like it was just it was slower
just,
than expected.
Yeah, a lot slower than I expected.
I wonder if
Yeah.
maybe the ramping complexity makes that a little bit more understandable as you go on. Because if you're getting more and more combos, I wonder if the speed ends up making more sense. Like there are some games where you start out and you don't have any options that you can do, and the game feels really shitty. And then as you get more and more options available to you, the game doesn't change speed, but you just have more things that you're doing.
Well, I just
Which
want
kind
more
of fill it
movement
out.
options.
Because there's a lot of RPGs like that.
I really wish
Yeah.
it just had a dedicated dodge button instead of having to lock on left and right. I think that's
Is that just with that
antiquated
character,
and
or
dumb?
Dante has a style that basically allows you to dodge. You have like a dedicated dodge button.
That's my Dante.
There you go. That's my Dante. But yeah, Nero, you do have to lock on or just like jump around or use the Gerbia to kind of jump around.
That's what I was doing.
I also found it like, it's not that I didn't found out. I just forgot to like test it out like in the first 5 missions, but I forgot each Devil Breaker has like a final move thing.
If you charge it up.
Yeah, I got
Dude.
to like mission like 10 before I did one. I'm like, what the fuck? Oh, this changes everything. Oh god, I'm breaking all my arms. Fuck these arms. I want to do all their specials. Let's go.
The laser special is awful.
is it
For
bad?
the Gerbia.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
just shoot a laser, but like you only have like a 90-degree cone that you can actually move. So if I was fighting a boss when this happened, the little weird flying boss that the person comes out of, who's naked, but not in the PS4 version.
Oh, what? What's
Yeah.
the difference in the PS4 version?
Sony has more strict censorship.
I mean, like
So,
what do
how
they
they
do?
dressed?
I guess.
They do the anime glowy light thing to cover up her ass and whatever.
They do that with a different scene later on too, the glowy bit stuff. So gotcha. Okay, it's like it was kind of weird. Like, how is she not naked? She's definitely naked, but I forgot there's like juice or something on her. Anyways, but go ahead. Sorry.
But yeah, so you have like a 90-degree cone that you can just shoot in, and
Juice.
then like the boss is like over here, and you're like, I'm gonna get you,
Nope.
and then
Yeah.
it stops you right here. You're like, I'm not getting you.
Yeah.
solar beam.
Dude.
It's basically is a solar beam.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. When you get the tomboy, when you start shooting with a tomboy, that's the same story. You're only like in a 90-degree cone. So just a heads up for that, but it's still super powerful. And you can charge up the attack too for like a huge, bigger laser beam.
Oh, the bigger laser beam.
It's not even like the final attack. I don't remember what the final attack for Tomboy is, if I even got to it. I was just so happy just using it.
Did you
Like,
get the
"Hi."
spatula one?
I did not get the spatula one.
Oh, I got the spatula one. I got one that the girl was like, this is like, it's called the back scratcher. Did you get that one?
Yeah,
No, it must be pre-order bonus
maybe.
stuff that
Yeah.
I got. But yeah, and she's like, oh, this is going to make somebody happy if you catch my meaning. I'm like, we get it. All right.
It's a back scratcher.
All right. You want me to finger this girl I've never met before? I don't know. Kyrie. It's not Kyrie. That's Kingdom Hearts.
It's spelled kind of like Kyrie, but it's
All right,
Kyrie.
you're playing
Yeah.
Devil May Cry 5, not that other weird ass game that we play for Into the Veil, dude. The fuck was anime?
Zero Time Dilemma?
No. The one where FistCake had to do things off camera because it was too weird.
Oh. The
What game was that? Did we just forget?
Oh yeah. No,
Seventh
Killer's
Day.
dead.
Killer is dead.
Yeah, you're like, oh, I get it, game.
Yeah.
You want me to finger this girl? Like, nah, dude, that's a Killer is dead type thing. But I don't
Yeah.
know, because like literally, I've seen none of Devil May Cry 5. So when you guys are talking about like motorcycle sword and shit, I'm just like, I have to literally build the images in my mind of what I think it looks like. So that's fun.
And then
Or you
what
can
else?
watch it on my channel this week, starting at youtube.com/FistCake. Okay, but yeah,
I also like that now Japanese developers are like, yeah, Southern girls are like sick. So now they have a Southern girl, just like Final Fantasy 15 had Cindy.
oh yeah,
They just have like a thick, like, I don't know, Texan kind of accent.
oh yeah. Nico's my favorite.
It's
I love
definitely like an archetype now.
Oh yeah.
And the chick has tattoos like everywhere. She has like gun holsters on her thing, and then every time she like, hey, I've built a new arm for you. She's like, and she bends down all seductively, and it does something weird with her face. Like I think they try to make her look seductive, but the animation doesn't quite work, so it just looks kind of weird. So she's like, just get the arm, lady.
Quit licking your lips at me. Oh,
I'll
God.
call you if I need you.
Man, that's weird because she's like always like teasing you for like keep your panties in or keep your panties on or like quit flirting with me, pervert, or stuff like that. It's like, okay, Nico, calm down.
All right. Yeah, okay. Look, obviously I have another chick that sounds like Kyrie. I don't know what her name is. I've forgotten.
I won't talk about it, but the only bad things about the game I don't care for is the lock-on stuff is kind of weird, like outside of combat for me, because you're trying to get these red orbs. There's like literally I couldn't get as V because I couldn't like target the bird to shoot the thing. So I'm like, okay, whatever.
What I did to do that, were they hanging on the
Bridges or whatever?
Yeah, the bridges. I jumped and shot the bird, and that did it every time.
See, I tried jumping around. Maybe I need to try jumping on. I don't know. It's whatever. I got plenty of red orbs. It's that thing. Don't really care that you have to like spin red orbs to get your running animation. That's not my favorite thing.
Yeah, unlock running with like 2K, 15 or not 2K.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah, it was like 2K.
Yeah, it was 2000. Yeah, that's nothing later on, but yeah, it's just like, but still at first like, oh, I have to unlock running. Okay, that's not cool.
That's it, and a double jump.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the double jump thing, that feels like
that's
type
classic,
thing.
but
yeah,
also like it kind of feels like the way that Nero moves in cutscenes and then versus how Nero moves in game is not representative of how he moves at all. So it's kind of weird. They're like, yeah, you got to buy this double jump. My dude just jumped like between 18 pillars and did like a somersault and did all this stuff. And you tell me he doesn't have double jump?
No, he doesn't have enough blood energy for it. Okay, just get off his back.
No. Killer's dead all over again.
Oh, jeez. Now, speaking of the red orbs, I will commend them for being like the first AAA game I've noticed that doesn't have any mention of the microtransactions throughout the entire game whatsoever. There's never
I just saw the store in the main menu, and that was it.
Yeah, like I didn't even like. Yeah, I barely noticed that, and like there's some like most games have like check out the store, you can buy stuff here, or like just like at the very end, like whenever you pause the screen, there's always like, hey, you can get more stuff if you just go over here or whatever.
Yeah, they're like pushing it. Yeah,
and it's not in the game at all. Like if you didn't know anything about this game and you played it and you didn't even look at the store, you'd be like, oh, you can buy more red orbs.
I thought that was for DLC when I first saw it.
Exactly.
I was like, oh, this is where you buy the DLC.
Yeah. Nope.
There's no DLC yet, so I got no need to go to the store.
I think
that's kind of nice
because it's going to be free anyways. It's called the Bloody Palace. I think it's just going to be like a combat trial thing, but we'll find out.
Yeah, like that's kind of nice because like there's there seems to be a few bigger games that are coming out now that kind of like especially ones that involve a lot of like online stuff that kind of or even games that have that weird partial online. You know, there's like an element of like that in there, even though it's a single player game, that seem to hold a little strongly on with like there being microtransactions or other stuff, where it's like, okay, well, what are you like? They don't have any anything in mind for people who might decide to play the game years down the road, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, what do you guys plan? Are you just planning just to sell it now and not worry about it, or like,
just get on.
What's going to happen?
No,
I mean nothing, I guess.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much it for me. We got a lot to talk about, so I can't talk about anything else this week. What did you guys do this week?
Well, we played. We didn't play a whole lot.
We beat all of the Dead Spaces.
Yeah, we beat Dead Space 3. So
it's DLC.
And it's DLC. It's one DLC, and let me tell you. I don't know if we want to avoid spoilers or not. What's our decision on this?
I don't care. Go ahead.
So we talk about so we're going to talk about Dead Space 3 and the ending, and as well as the one story DLC that they came out with, and how just like it's just a big cliffhanger, and it's frustrating.
Yeah.
So the story of the overall story of Dead Space, I would say pretty solid throughout all three.
Yeah.
Like it never gets to a point where it's like, oh, this is
I always
this
wanted
is
to
dumb.
learn more about the world.
Right. And
Yeah.
they do a good job of incentivizing you or at least, providing you with plenty of opportunities to access like text logs and audio logs, and it's never like not interesting. But I think we talked a little bit about this last time. The differences in the mechanics of the game are, and I don't want to go too much into it, but for Dead Space 3, it is pretty disappointing. But I would say it had the exact same, and I was telling Matt about this, it had the exact same thing that we ran into with Red Dead Redemption, where a lot of the stuff that we found kind of annoying about the whole system no longer became an issue once Matt found basically the guns he was going to use. We kind of stopped. We had
Experimenting.
we kind of stopped experimenting with guns once you had like the setup.
Mm-hmm.
We could have done so much more experimenting, but we found like a pretty sick setup
Yeah.
that worked in every situation. And so it was like, well, why? Let's just beat the game.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, the crafting system and the way you get the items and how they decide to balance that out. The whole tungsten thing. It's frustrating.
I forgot
Yeah,
about the tungsten thing.
Yeah, you do get a lot more tungsten. By the end, you're rolling in it.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't say
Well, that's
rolling.
good.
No,
We had
you're
about
just on the
600.
edge of rolling on it. Or rolling it, right? Yeah, that is true. You're just
We
like,
could have done one of the blueprints for like one of their like top tier guns.
yeah, I
or
didn't,
what-
now that I think about it,
six,
it still is pretty.
pretty bad.
Yeah, yeah, because like you get these scavenger bots that you can place around, and they're pretty cool, and you get up to like 3, and they'll come back with maybe 15, 20 tungsten each time they go on a little scouting
We had a
mission.
much bigger problem with scrap metal after.
Yeah, it's weird. We had a ton of scrap metal in the beginning, is what it felt like, and then like as we went on, it's like, where's all the scrap metal? They just stop dropping. Like you got transducers out your ass, but scrap metal, nah.
And the balsamic oil or whatever.
That's one of those Mattisms that I actually don't remember what the actual name
It's
of it
when
is.
when you you break down the health things.
Yeah, I don't remember the name of it.
Yeah, well, anyways, it's the oil or it's the gel that you get from breaking down that health pots.
Oh yeah,
And they
yeah.
give you so much health in that game. Literally, 85% of
God.
my inventory was just filled with
med
health.
packs.
Yeah, med packs.
That Matt never used. Like every time we come across an item, Matt would have to like drop like 3 or 4 things. He's like, and
Jesus.
when Matt says like half, it's like 20. Like
A lot of health.
spaces filled
Yeah.
up with health because they just drop health packs everywhere,
Mm-hmm.
just like all the time.
They
And
just don't want
the only
you to
time
die.
you ever, yeah, well, the only time you ever are in danger of dying is if you've really just taken hits over and over and over and over and over and over again, or you get caught off guard and you can't heal yourself in time. But that like rarely happened.
I think I died probably less than 10 times throughout the whole series.
And I think the vast
And-
majority of that was just in that one guy.
Well, I wasn't even counting that guy.
Oh,
I'm just
okay.
talking about like throughout, like, oh, I missed this QT or
Yeah.
or I don't think I hardly ever died to mobs ever.
Yeah, I think there's of course like close calls, but like I don't really remember you.
Because you
having-
got so much health, you're just like, I'm getting hit. Health.
You need to spam it because
Yeah.
like I remember like especially in Dead Space 3, never wondering if you had health.
If I had enough, because I did.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, Matt's got plenty. He's fine. Just hit the button randomly. But okay, the ending because we spent too much time. So the game ends where basically, like,
Isaac sacrifices himself.
yeah, Isaac and the other character Carver.
Carver, yeah.
They sacrifice themselves, and the love interest or whatever leaves.
After they debate you with her death.
Yeah, that was frustrating. So she's in a moment where you basically see her die as a door closes, and then later on, it's just like, we got your girl, and Matt's like, oh, it's a trick, right? Because it's just over audio, so you have no idea. It's a tricksy game, you never know. And then you see her, and it's just like, oh yeah, I thought you were dead. Oh, I just
I
escaped through one of the
escaped
vents,
through the vents.
and that's it. That's all the explanation. No questions asked. Just like, yeah, I got through the vents. I'm fine.
Yeah, she died in a gaseous cloud.
Yeah, like a death cloud that killed
yeah.
Matt in like 5 seconds.
Yeah, because I ran into it like a dummy.
You can't touch the cloud.
Yeah, you
it's
can't
like
touch
it's actually deadly.
Yeah.
And she's like in the cloud. She's standing on top of something.
Yeah.
Literally nowhere near a vent. How did she survive?
I don't know, but it was a stupid debate that just totally unnecessary
and didn't even pay off because she doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
Right. The bad guy gets away with whatever, but basically they needed a reason for the bad guy to be able to do the thing he wanted to do by holding her hostage. And then he did it, and then you reverse it anyways. So that was also dumb. But the boss battle was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That was they kind of like did like kind of a unique thing with that. Wasn't terribly challenging. It was pretty formulaic. But the whole thing ends. You literally drop a moon on the world or whatever, and so everyone dies. And Ellie's like outside, like, "Oh, you did it. The marker stuff's gone or whatever." Isaac, are you there? And there's no answer. And she's like, "Ah, right." And then it goes to credits. Right before it goes to credits, I joke in them like, "Oh, Ellie, are you out there?" Right afterwards, because she assumes he died and she just leaves. I'm like, "Oh, haha, that's funny, right? Yeah, it'd be funny if he was still alive." And then the DLC, and he is still alive.
Yeah, he is still alive, and there's a in-credit stinger where he's like, "Ellie."
Like exactly the way I jokingly did it.
Oh, Jesus.
Which is funny. And the DLC,
hella short.
It's really short, but pretty good. Like
I would say it was all right. The ending it wasn't that great.
No, the ending wasn't that great. But the kind of sub storyline that they go through is really cool. There's like a cultist thing, and like they do a bunch of crazy stuff with your head. And the way it starts off is very self-aware because it's like they definitely died. They dropped a moon on the world, right? But they're like, why are we still alive? I don't know. Are the necromorphs gone? I guess so. Let's try to get off the thing. And the necromorphs are still around. And they're like, this is weird. Why is it still alive? This makes no sense. And just like, and they don't really fully explain that actually. It's just like, I guess it didn't work or something.
Well, no, it worked. It's just the other moons.
Right. Yeah. What happened was they didn't destroy all the marker symbols or whatever it was that was making all this happen. They just destroyed like the connective tissue between them. So everything still existed. It's just now there's no like centralized mind controlling it. But yeah. And then it ends. You get to Earth and they're like, "Oh, so-and-so, we're coming in, blah, blah, and such, and nobody answers, and they hear like a, bleh, and then like, that's it.
Well, and you see the giant aliens. Like
one of the moons flies into view.
Moons.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of moons around the Earth or whatever, and they fly into view, and it's like music, stinger, musical sound or whatever.
Yeah, we're fucked.
And then like, that's it. It just ends like that.
Yeah,
like there's nothing else. It's just like, oh yeah, they got back to Earth, and by the way, everything's fucked.
It'd been better if the credits had like Dead Space 4 on it, coming soon.
That would have been sick.
Isaac Clarke will return in Dead Space 4.
Isaac returns.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, okay, well, great. And I looked up, and apparently there's some really cool plans for Dead Space 4, and it's supposed to be kind of like non-linear and stuff. And, you're trying to piece back together mankind's, bit by bit and all that. Like, oh, this seems really cool. Too bad it'll never happen, huh?
Yeah, we'll never know. Yay!
But yeah, I mean, Dead Space 3 pretty good. I feel like the
moment gameplay was good.
Yeah,
it had some what the fuck moments. The crafting is just like you just try to find a loadout as quick as possible.
Yeah,
have fun.
Really, really like look one up because there's a lot of really cool like ones that people are like, yeah, do this and this and this works, and we're like, sick.
Okay, great. Streamline it.
And even the developer was like, yeah, we went a little far with the crafting. If we were going to do Dead Space 4, we probably would have toned it down. So even they knew,
if they just made it better.
Right. Yeah, I think
it was just shitty.
Yeah, like the idea was cool and like the end product was cool, but like all the steps in between getting the parts,
execution was bad.
Yeah, it was clunky for sure.
I'm sure it was like another EA breathing down their neck. Like,
oh, for sure.
He makes it sound like that. He actually does make it sound like that. He was like, we were disappointed in what we were able to do and all that. So
make them buy more tungsten. Make them buy more tungsten.
Because they had the whole microtransaction bit with it too.
Yeah.
So that's got to be related.
Yeah. I was 100% to drive microtransactions.
Yeah. It's really stupid and I hate it.
Thanks, I hate it.
Yeah, an example of a game that is built around microtransactions that has no clue what it's going to do in the future if there ends up not being like, I don't know, a server there to provide that shit. But yeah. Overall, the series is great.
Yeah, I really
Storyline's really
enjoyed
good.
playing through it and learning and about
it just
the
makes
world and stuff.
Makes me a little upset that there's not going to be a fourth.
Yeah.
Because like unlike a lot of other ones where it's like, oh, they could make a next one. It's like this one is like absolutely a cliffhanger, and there's definitely more story.
Yeah. Just a little bit.
But besides that, I mean, if there's anything else you want to talk about, I don't want to.
I mean, we talk about Legend of Dragoon.
Do you want to talk about the game itself or the odyssey in which we?
We can do both.
Okay, so we've been playing Legend of Dragoon again. It's part of our list of games that we like to play things off stream and off camera because we just want to enjoy some games sometimes, And it was one of those games that we've never been able to beat over the years. We have like a 24 episode series on our YouTube channel that we just never finished it. Getting the game to fucking work was a nightmare.
Yeah.
And I'm not even sure if we're still done. I think we're done. I don't know.
I think we might be done now.
And I'm preface this by saying I own the fucking game, okay? But we wanted to play the game with a bit more graphical fidelity. So we're running it into in this new fangled emulator. And with all shaders and renders and OpenGL or Vulkan and all this stuff, right? And just
the amount of work that I had to do to get this shit to work right.
Yeah. Literally, we'd play like a couple hours and be like, this looks weird. And then try to fix it for another hour and then play another couple hours and like, why is the text wobbly? Like, we got to a point
looked
where
like the text was becoming its own being.
Yeah. Like, literally looks like it was warped from being left out in the sun.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was weird. And come to find out, it's like this texture thing that's supposed to fix one thing but made it worse, and you can't run the game in widescreen because the backgrounds are all pre-rendered
pictures,
images
basically.
That can't be translated properly, so all of the stuff that you see gets stretched, and so nothing, like, enemies will attack and shoot something at you and it'll hit next to the character, or if there's a zoom in like special effect thing where an enemy is doing some kind of cool thing, the whole screen just freezes because it doesn't know what to do with itself, and then you don't even get to see the animation. So that was fun. Emulation.
Oh, I know. I played the Castlevania games on stream, and I had to go through some shit just to make.
Oh, yeah.
Just to break a game.
The PlayStation emulators, they need to step up their fucking game, okay? Because they're awful. None of them are, and it's free. Thank you, but still, fix your shit. All right, you got Dolphin, right? Literally, probably the best emulator ever. That runs shit almost out of the box perfect.
Yeah. And there were years where they had to work through shit, but they've got it down now. Like Melee looks great.
Well, and it does Wii.
And it does all the Wii games.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
You have the PlayStation 3 stuff that's doing way harder stuff. Why does all the PlayStation games look like why can't they do anything with it? Because like Legend of Dragoon is notoriously hard to do anything with.
Yeah. Like apparently
it's
like the way they
time.
All the pre-rendered stuff, like
Yeah,
a lot of Final Fantasy games are pre-rendered. And also PlayStation 2 had like actual not decades, but it's kind of like levels of like game making in it.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Like development eras.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
But, it's still a pain in the ass to try to make just the game work, but I mean, it is free, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks for helping us make the game
bitch,
look better, but still, there's one really like blatant example of how the assets in the game are like mixed pre-rendered and mixed like in engine, where we were looking in a menu, and all like 90% of the text was in engine, so it's able to be stretched and fixed and make it look nice, right? Except for like. There's like a portion where you're looking at a character's screen or whatever, and it's showing all stats, and there's a section where it says magic. Right?
And this magic,
just the word magic,
looks awful.
It's because it's not. It's an image, unlike the whole rest of the screen.
It's from like 1984.
Because apparently they thought, well, this is never going to change. We don't need to make this something the engine has to do. Well, we'll save like a kilobyte.
So weird. Almost all the menus have like 2 or 3 words that are just stick out.
Because they look terrible.
Anyways, game's good.
Yeah. Yeah, the game's good.
Yeah.
We got it to work. We have a setup now. You basically have to run the game in 4x3. Don't even try. And you can't do like any kind of special shaders. It's it doesn't play nice with anything. Just there's only so far you can put it before it's just the game looks like shit. So, but I mean the game's still fun, and I think this is probably like the best we've ever had a run of this game. Like we're kicking everybody's ass. All the little boss battles that I always thought were like a little bit kind of touch and go because they're difficult and easy. Just let's just take him out. Okay, sick. Dart's fucking sick. Besides that,
Smash and Melee.
Good
days.
Yeah, good Smash days. You played, of course, you were talking about Devil May Cry 5. Did you do anything else? That's just that. Okay, couldn't remember. All right, sick. So let's move on to some of the stories today. We're gonna start off with
something light.
Something light. So, there's a game that was supposed to be that was being advertised as being put onto Steam, being developed by basically one guy. It's called Rape Day, and Steam has already decided that they're not going to carry it. And I brought it up as something to talk to, not to talk about the game itself, but to talk about the potential effect that it might have, because it's a pretty extreme sounding game, right?
Yeah.
It's in the zombie apocalypse, and you play. It's a visual novel, and the name implies.
Just read the title. Think about it for a second. It's exactly like that. Okay.
So there's a couple of things in question here. The first being that Steam recently, within the last year or so, I don't know how long ago, kind of changed its approach on how it wants to regulate games that go onto the store, so that they can give developers, a platform, as this is what they're saying, to distribute their games and be more open to more adult type content. And it's being said that like technically this game fits under their vague description of what's allowed. And so Steam didn't immediately deny the game. They took it under advisement and, really looked at it and spent a couple of days, and then eventually decided that they weren't going to carry it.
They asked the question, how will this affect our stocks? And they're like,
they're not they're a private company.
How will this affect the public opinion?
That's right. Yeah, never mind.
And
so could you not say wrong things, please, on my show?
Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know anything about businesses and how stocks actually work. I just know that it was
if they're privately traded, they don't have a public. You can't buy stock in it.
They don't have. Basically. So, which kind of protects them from that. Yeah. It's both positive and negative, whether or not a company's public or private. But so. In response to that, there's kind of a huge uproar from.
I mean, it's huge. Like, is huge really the word that we want to be using?
Okay.
Is it huge?
There is an uproar.
There are talks being had about legislation and shit. There we go.
Yeah. So basically,
not in the U.S.
Not in the U.S. European governments, specifically the U.K., is what it looks like.
Well, it was Scotland, yeah.
Scotland, and then there's also U.K. There's a member of U.K. Parliament talking about it. And
one guy in Scotland.
No, there's two of them. Two people.
Well, I meant one guy in the Parliament, and then Scotland.
The First Minister of Scotland.
So 3 people total.
Right. Yeah.
It was a joke about how there's not very many people in Scotland.
Okay, I get it. Sorry.
But
and the statement basically stating, hey, which there's this kind of goes into the main reason why I wanted to bring it up, which was the way that they're approaching it is not, hey, this game was really bad. It's like, it's the statement here from the Scottish First Minister is violence against women, whether it is sexual or of any form, is not a game and should never be treated in such a way, and it's serious that it must be treated that way, so I hope the game is not promoted. In my view, the matter should not be down to the individual decisions of companies. It is time for the regulations governing the area to be reviewed. Perhaps the whole Parliament can unite on the issue and call on the UK government to do that without delay. And then there's another one from the member of UK Parliament saying, I'm glad it's been pulled from the gaming site Steam, but their response was woeful. It did not even accept or acknowledge the risk it could pose. especially considering it's in the middle of International Women's Day week. And I hope that they'll work with me and others to launch a review into how this game even got to the development and approval stage, and make sure it appears on no other platform.
It's like these people are thinking, how did it get to the development and approval stage? Well,
Yeah,
you had
If there's one guy
$100.
making it.
Then one guy made it. He's like, "This is a good idea," and then he approved it. And then he paid
processed
$100, and Steam was like,
That's
"All
what
right,
it costs.
That's what it costs."
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's not like EA's like, "Yeah, we're gonna make this game."
Yeah, I don't know who she thinks did Steam?
It sounds
did
like
Steam-
she's trying to imply that Steam had a hand in making it.
right, which is so incorrect.
It's just
Yeah.
out of touch.
Yeah, like incredibly. And then
She heard Rape Day and was like,
like,
"Not that I'm
who
defending
allowed
Rape
this?
Day."
Well, that's the reason why I'm bringing it up, because like game, bad idea, like not a good game decision, and not something I want to play. But because of it, now there's basically out of touch governmental officials being like, we gotta stop this. Games are
Yeah.
going down a bad road. We should regulate this
we
shit.
should also, regulate all movies that have rape cutscenes.
Yes.
All music that has the word rape in
And-
it,
Yeah.
or is derogatory towards certain groups.
Right.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's
That's
not that
stupid.
simple, and it's and it. I
You
mean,
gotta things case by case.
there's an argument to be
Yeah.
had that video games are different because you take a hand in it, and depending on how that game has
There-
you taking an approach, whether or not you're making the decisions to do it, could be better or worse depending on the game. But either way, you make one decision on something, then why aren't you making that same type of decision about other things too?
Yeah.
Well, it's been
worry-
like you go ahead.
I say my worry is that people have been trying to, like, government officials, when I've been over the course of the years been trying to, like, peg video games for what's been going wrong with certain things, like kids being violent and whatnot, and they like to cherry pick special scenarios, and some of them sometimes they get a lot of traction, sometimes they don't, but they're usually out of touch and they usually don't understand what's going on. And they usually, like what she said, like, oh yeah, how does this get, to the development process? How does this get approved by people? It's like, well, it was just one guy. Anybody can make a game now. So
Yeah.
I'm just worried that now there's like another bullet in the chamber for people to kind of like keep firing at video games. I don't think anything's going to come of this. Hopefully,
It's definitely not going to affect the U.S.
no, not yet.
But in the
it's
EU,
just-
they're already dealing with like the whole internet thing over there, the Amendment 13 or whatever it's called.
oh yeah, I was about to say, aren't they worried about Brexit or something? I mean, come on. They got bigger
there's the
things.
Brexit
You got
thing.
bigger fish to fry.
There's the Brexit thing, and then there's also the meme apocalypse going on, where
all
apparently
about the copyright.
all the copyright stuff. So they're already making like weird decisions, and it's just like I don't know if something's going to come from this, but like you were saying, it just makes it easier for them to make an argument to people who don't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah, it just worries me a little bit. I
Look-
don't think
look at
anything's
this.
going to directly come of this right now, but like maybe later on down the road, it's like, oh, what about that Rape Day game that got almost approved by Steam? I mean, it's just a slippery slope before they start adding other, maybe not Rape Day, it'll be like Rape Morning. It's not going to be a full game. It's just going to be chapter by chapter DLC. Try to slide down the radar.
Tales of,
Right.
but yeah, I mean,
Yeah, it's just like a lot of this. You can just be like,
Yeah.
let's just ban all media that has any kind of weird derogatory things.
it's not like this is the first time it's happened.
Yeah, this
No,
goes into
yeah.
like a big diatribe about the over PCization of everything.
Yeah, it's not helpful in like on any front, because you have that, and then you have the opposite of that, and none of it's fun. But like this isn't even the first game that's been like controversial like this. Like
Doom.
Well, I was thinking Hatred,
Hatred.
Manhunt 2,
Yeah.
and those were, well, at least Manhunt 2. Those were games made in a time where, they were making it for like a console, and they were probably a slightly bigger company making it.
It was 2K.
Well, yeah.
Or it was Rockstar.
Did Rockstar make Manhunt?
Rockstar made Manhunt,
Yep.
yeah.
Right. So it's kind of a different story, but they also didn't go nearly like they're not even in the same realm as this game is. And it's just a visual novel, but it's choice based, and that's a problem.
It's not it's not though. I mean, how many times have you decided to do something and be like, I saw it in a video game?
Oh no, yeah, no, I got you. Yeah.
Just because you take direct control over it doesn't mean anything. And Fear 2, you have to put a shotgun to this dude's head, and it's a QTE. You got to do it, So you're like smashing buttons. You're trying to shoot this dude's head off,
right?
With a shotgun. It's super graphic. I've never been like, I should do that.
No, for sure.
Not even on a heated melee day.
Not even on a heated melee day. Keyboard, maybe I'll put a shotgun to that. But
God damn it. But
the whole
it's
argument is just stupid and out of touch.
Yeah. That's just people are looking into this and or not.
More censorship is always better, I guess. These fucking idiots.
Censor
everything.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the main thing that I wanted to get to when I was talking about that, how it's like a player choice based thing, is like that feeds into the argument of it being bad. Like I don't think it's something that's going to cause like it's going to convert people into doing those types of stuff, but that's absolutely the direction that people are taking it. Because like if you read any of the article titles for like The Sun or Fox News or any of this other stuff, it's like this vile game and all this stuff. Like
the world is ending. What about our shit? You're like, fuck off.
Think of the children. Oh, jeez.
Fucking idiots.
Yeah. I mean, I am glad that I think it was totally a reasonable decision for them to say no to this game.
Yeah, 100%.
And anybody who
they can do whatever they want. It's their storefront.
Right.
Yeah.
And anybody who makes the argument that they're going against the regulations and stuff like that, like
they're vague on purpose. So they can look at things and be like, yeah, this is shitty. Again, though, they should not let everything through the door that has $100.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have this problem to begin with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
this is bound to happen.
I'm just saying, like, at least they didn't put it out there.
This is how you...
Not like they would.
This is how... I mean, with rules so vague, this is how you know what is going to be allowed and what isn't going to be allowed. When the extreme comes in and is like, oh, well, we're not going to do that. Well, okay. Now we know that these types of games aren't going to be allowed in Steam. But, because there are some people who are just... oh, I can't believe Steam would go against their stuff or whatever.
Well, Steam's I saw a lot of... Well, I didn't see a lot of... But I assume that a lot of people were like, oh, Steam's censoring. It's their fucking storefront.
Yeah,
they can do whatever they want. Yeah. You don't get mad at Walmart for not carrying freaking indie game number 800.
Right.
It's
not
like
censorship.
It's not like you had the game out and Steam went to hunt the game and take it down. You just can't
they
put it
didn't
on
even
their
allow
storefront.
it. Yeah. Yeah, I think the most you could do with the game before they removed it was that you could put it on your wish list, and that was it.
Yeah.
It was never available. It was never released. But and the game developer is looking at other avenues to release the game.
Oh yeah.
So
put a lot of work in it, man.
Yeah, what a piece of shit that guy is. No, like for real though.
Yeah. No,
fuck that dude in particular.
Well, yeah. Now we're just talking about how bad Rape Day is, man. You can't talk about fucking the guy. Come on now. Jesus.
No, but like the other meaning, like fuck him, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So what's going on with Diablo?
Yeah. All right. Moving on. So
try to transition the shit out of that.
Yep. Jump cancel.
Some kind of nice news. The original Diablo is now going to be available online on GOG.com. Blizzard has, I should say, it is now for sale on GOG.com. The first time that Blizzard Entertainment's RPG Classic has been available to buy digitally ever. So the PC version of Diablo is going to be $9.99, and it's sold exclusively through GOG. And it is going to have Windows 10 compatibility, numerous bug fixes, and there's also the option to play Diablo as it was originally released, 20 FPS graphics, old school BattleNet matchmaking, and all.
I'm sure it's going to work just fine right out of the box.
No, usually GOG's pretty good
GOG
about it.
has a
It has a quality control thing.
Yeah, like I've been pretty happy with games that I've gotten off GOG. I don't know about the matchmaking, right?
Yeah, the matchmaking.
That is
Yeah.
probably going to be a little bit weird. And I'm kind of excited about this because the first Diablo game is notoriously difficult to play on even like Windows XP, right? It's just it was made in a different time.
Yeah.
And they've already planned to so they're doing kind of a slow release where they're slowly releasing all these classic games, these classic Blizzard games, and the next one's going to be Warcraft Orcs and Humans, the original Warcraft game, and then Warcraft 2 is going to follow that, and I'm hoping that like Diablo 2.
No, Diablo 2 is already available.
Is it already available on the Blizzard store?
On Blizzard, yeah, we own it on the Blizzard store.
I don't know.
That's how we played it last.
Is that what? Really? Did we play that on the Blizzard store?
Yeah.
Man, I totally forgot about that. Well, sick. That's already available.
Sweet.
But like for these games, these older games that came out in like 96, 97, they are. It's so hard that like if you have a physical version, you have to go through so many hoops. You almost have to emulate. I
don't even have a disc drive
Windows
in my
95.
PC.
Right. Yeah. It's just so difficult to play them. So I'm really, I'm pretty glad that they're doing
Never
that.
played 1 second of Diablo 1.
Me neither.
I don't know that you'll like it.
I don't think I will.
Probably not.
It is definitely a simpler game.
I like Diablo 2 fine.
It is if you ever play Diablo 1, having never played it, and you've only played Diablo 2, you'll quickly see how a lot of the stuff that Diablo 2 does is basically just a way to fix like clunkiness of the first game.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Yeah.
That's why sequels are always better.
Always.
Definitely. In some cases, yes. But because Diablo 1 is absolutely a simpler game. It's like one just continuous dungeon going down. It's a very simple storyline. You only have 3 characters you can play as. But yeah, pretty cool. Like, that's
It's
sick.
odd that they're partnering with GOG.
Yeah, and not doing it on their own store. I wonder if they're just trying to tap into the retro game community because a lot of the retro game
probably.
people get stuff from GOG.
There are a lot of retro games for GOG. Yeah, I just remember them. Like, I remember like a bunch of games just being on sale there. I'm like, I'd never heard of these. Okay, cool.
Yeah, a lot of them I'm like, I'm okay.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I'm good. I have other options.
Give me that Thronebreaker DLC though.
All right,
shit.
so FistCake, why don't you tell me how excited you are about Nintendo's new VR system?
I'm so excited. I'm definitely going to buy 5 when it comes out. So Nintendo Switch is coming out with VR. No, it's not as cool as you think it would be. It's with Labo. So imagine that for a second. It's exactly what you think it is. So
Cardboard.
cardboard. A lot of cardboard. Let's see here. The new Labo VR Toy-Con set will come in a variety of packages. The full $79.99 set will include 6 Toy-Con projects, a set of VR goggles. Oh, here's the list. A set of VR goggles, which is cardboard with goggles on them, a rocket launcher-like blaster, a camera, a bird, a wind pedal, and an elephant. There will also be an additional screen holder and safety cap included. So how this works is basically you put the VR goggles on the Switch screen. You hold the Switch up to your face, like so, like the actual the mobile version.
It's like you're looking at through like a submarine telescope.
Yeah, and
it's
then,
like Google Cardboard or whatever, YouTube Cardboard or whatever that
it's
thing
just
is
like-
for VR.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's actually an easy way to describe it. Like those little Walmart things you find, and then you attach your peripheral to the back of that or wherever it goes, and now you're playing Nintendo VR, which we'll probably post links to the page, but you can see how fucking stupid it looks.
Hey, it's for kids, dude.
Oh, okay.
I mean, but like kid number 2 though with the foot thingy though. What is that? It's
I
like an
have no
action
idea.
shot where
So-
like it's in motion.
Yeah, first picture is a kid with like a camera that looks halfway decent. That's like, okay, that makes sense. That's whatever.
That actually makes sense. Yeah.
And the second one is a kid holding the VR goggles and he's kicking like a kickstand or something. I don't know. Maybe
Like a
he's just
kick
playing-
drum, right?
Yeah, like he's kicking a bass drum. That's all.
But
he's
just the
doing.
bass drum because he has to hold the
Yeah.
rest. He has to hold the thing to his face.
And And then the second one is basically the VR goggles, like an elephant mask that has like a handle on the bottom of it, and there's two Joy-Cons in the trunk of the elephant, one at the base, one at the very tip of the elephant.
I didn't even see this. That looks so weird.
Oh yeah, but wait, there's more. There's a gun that you put to your fucking face. So imagine like this little, if you're our age, you remember like those little like flippy guys, like you put like a little wheel of pictures in,
Yeah.
you flip it
Yeah,
over.
yeah, you flip it.
Oh, dude, those
You
things
attach
are-
that to your face, and now there's a gun in front of it. So now you have to hold the gun in like a parallel line in front of your face, like where your nose
Like
is.
old school Doom,
Yeah, like
where
old
he's
school-
just holding the gun in the middle of the screen.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Like imagine your face is a tank.
And that's pretty much, and like from what I can tell, it looks like one Joy-Con's is at the end of the blaster here. Maybe the second Joy-Con's up the kid's butt. I don't know.
I
Let's
think
see.
it's maybe the handle he's holding. I can't tell.
Well, maybe. Who knows? And then the last one is a fucking bird. You have
Maybe
a
it's because you're flying around as a bird, dude.
Well, I would hope you're flying around as a bird. That's kind of
Yeah, but what if the kids think that they can fly all of a sudden and jump off a roof? Video games are bad. Sequels
games
are
are
always
bad.
better.
Nintendo Labo is making video games bad. So the bird thing is literally this VR goggles and like a bird that has one of the Joy-Cons as a beak. I guess just to figure out like where you're
That
flying
ain't Falco.
to. That's not my Falco. So this looks stupid as shit.
What's
Well,
great
you
is
can-
it costs $79.99, and they're gonna release 2 expansion packs, each $20.
Yeah,
And
so
the
you
expansion
can-
packs are where you get the elephant and camera.
Oh, great, cool.
Oh,
Well, I mean,
and the other
camera's
which
actually
will
cool.
the other which will give you the wind pedal. It's a wind pedal
Oh, wind
and a
That's-
bird. So actually, in the on the release. Oh well, the release is only $39.99. Oh, so you were giving the whole price with everything included.
Yeah,
Or
the
it's
full
$40.
$80 set, and then you can just buy the base stuff, which is like the VR
$40.
thing, and then $40 for that. Then you can
Okay.
buy your special DLC, such as Bird or Wind or whatever other packages are available.
Mom, buy the fan.
Mom,
I'm
give me a
flying.
box fan. Put it in front of my face. I don't feel like I'm flying. Mom, why don't you do enough for me?
Yeah, anyways, this is not for us.
It's
this is-
definitely not for us.
I mean,
don't
it could
know.
work great. It just looks dumb as hell.
I just feel like it's going to end up being that type of thing that the Wii ended up being a lot of the time, where you have those Wii specific motion games where it's like a gimmick that somebody plays with for like a month, and then it's like, yeah, this was a thing.
I
And, like-
think a lot of people are going to drop their fucking shit because there's very few goggles out there in the world that doesn't come attached to your head. And so
yeah,
you got some
you have to
dumbass
hold it up
kid
the whole
that-
time.
Yeah.
Like literally, the kid's arms are going to be so jacked because like
Oh,
they
yeah.
have to hold the thing to their face the whole time.
Exactly. So we're gonna either have a bunch of broken switches or a bunch jacked like 10-year-olds just fucking beating the shit out of everybody with their shoulder strength.
It's gonna be sick.
Yeah.
Man, it's gonna be great. Anyway, best new future.
And then I guess the last story that we can talk about here, FistCake, tell us about Shenmue 3.
Shenmue 3 is coming out, and they're adding more stuff to it. Like I watched the trailer; it looks pretty cool. However,
I also watched the trailer.
Nah. Like the characters look kind of weird, but they're still working on like kind of finalizing everything. Their mouths are kind of looking a little janky, but the idea
Yeah.
that this is a Shenmue game with more fighting in it is pretty sick. Because like Shenmue 1 was like, okay, yeah, you can train a little bit, and the last one's like, okay, now you got to fight 100 guys in a row. Like what the fuck? Okay. And Shenmue 2 is like,
Pacing.
you got. Shenmue 2 is like, okay, you fight guys sometimes, but it's all about trying to figure out how to
Buy a
was-
soda from a machine.
buy a soda from a machine, tell somebody if the sign's crooked or not. You know, crazy, enthralling quests like that. So it's going to be amazing to see what kind of bullshit they have for this game. I'm going to love it either way. I
Yeah.
am concerned that they have, they originally planned to have like 50 NPC characters in like a main area in the game called Shobu. And apparently, let's see, they're going to have, altogether, they're going to have around like 500 characters.
Hmm.
So I feel like that's like a lot of characters, and I don't know if like this was like a sudden like, hey, we got to increase we got to get more key characters in here. It's like, okay, just hopefully release it on time. No, okay, that's fine. Oh,
you
got to wait
the
another
sucker's
year.
getting delayed, dude.
Oh, probably, almost definitely. I
love
just
how
hope.
I'm imagining FistCake in the boardroom, like you're part of the decision making process, right? And they're telling you about, okay, so originally it was 100 characters. Now we're gonna do 500 NPCs with full lives and storylines and stuff like that, fully realized. And you're like, okay, isn't that gonna take a long time?
Well,
can you guys
my
do
thing
that?
is, I was about to say, there's no way you're gonna have 500 NPC characters and have all of them add like actual stuff to the game. It's not like, oh, there's 500 stories like, oh, I gotta go help the kid become, I don't know, responsible adult by raising him myself for 10 years straight or something. I don't know.
Each one's
like
like
if
that.
you plant an acorn, you can see it grow.
That's one of the NPC is the acorn.
Yeah.
You have to plant an NPC.
Dude, that's revolutionary.
Man, basically Shenmue had like all these side quests that you find in Yakuza, but not like as streamlined and as quick as Yakuza. So that's why I'm worried. Like, why are there so many characters? Oh God, I don't think they're going to be able to pull it off. But it's fine. It's whatever.
I mean, did they say that 500 is going to be like? Are they just saying like 500 unique NPCs? They're not saying that they're going to have 500 literally
I don't think
interactions with every single one of them.
Yeah, no, that's I guess my argument is, or not even an argument, is like my thing is, why have 500 people in a game about like talking to people 1 hour or whatever?
Well, because if you have to talk to the same 10 people, it's going to get pretty boring, dude.
Well, I don't.
Well, yeah, but 100 people seems like a good amount.
Yeah, but it's what I'm just kind of worried like what they're gonna.
I guess why is it a talking point? Why are they specifically saying we're gonna have
Can you not
500
touch the
NPCs?
fucking
I'm
mic?
sorry,
Oh,
whoopsie
shit.
daisy, my bad. But like, why are they saying? Why are they specifically highlighting that? Like, so obviously it's going to be some kind of feature that involves more than just them existing, right?
Yeah,
But like,
so, I mean, yeah, I'm just trying to make it quick. But we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I'm sure we have the same concerns. There's fishing, of course. Fighting modes. You have automatic transmission and manual transmission, which basically automatic is like pressing the X button on fighters, and manuals is like actually choosing your combos and shit.
I thought you were talking about cars.
Well, one would assume that, but instead of the cars, it's about fighting because automatic transmission and manual transmission is cool. Or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I thought you're like, yeah, you can do fighting, you can do this, there's fishing, there's auto and manual. I'm like, you can drive cars and you can choose which one. Now that's too much. That's where I draw the line.
That's where
I got super confused because like my brain went half car, half Dragon Ball Z. I'm like, do you teleport now? What?
No.
Instant transmission, automatic, what?
That's what they call the two modes for your fighting is. So,
Wow.
yeah.
So that way you
Why
can
don't
have
they
less
just,
fighting
like-
and more story.
Yeah. I don't know. Whatever. I'm not Japanese. I don't understand.
Who knows? I'm not Japanese and I don't understand.
The closest thing we got, dude.
Man, that's unfortunate. Have you seen my beard? Get her done. No, that's pretty much it. Still slated for August 27th this year. We'll see how that goes. Hashtag doubt.
Hashtag doubt.
Yeah, I feel like that's getting delayed.
All right.
Well,
Is that it? Is that what we're calling it, guys? I mean, it's 4-4.
What we got left here?
I mean, it's just like, Xboxes may or may not have a discless version of the Xbox One coming out. And okay.
Fuck it. Just don't even worry about it.
Yeah.
We'll maybe save this discussion for next time if we have less topics. Because I think it's a good discussion.
yeah, but
Just in general.
All right. Well, in that case, FistCake, why don't you tell people where they can find you and what you're doing?
Yeah, you can find me on the old YouTubes and the Twitch as FistCake. And this week I'm going to be trying out a new stream thing where basically Friday's for fighting games. Thursday's going to be for Titanfall 2. Wednesday's going to be for Warframe. Still deciding what to do for Tuesdays. But you can catch that all on twitch.tv/FistCake at 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. And other things. I'll be streaming with Coulter from Rogue Rage Gaming. I think we're going to play some more Dead Island.
no, God. How did he
Yeah,
con you into that?
He just asked me. It was either
We
that
saw
or
that
Hunt
both of you
Showdown.
guys.
I was like, okay.
Oh, okay. Right. It's like we saw both of you enter. Like, why is FistCake playing Dead Island? And it's like, and Cole's playing Dead Island. I'm like, are they playing Dead Island together?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yeah.
no! And then it closed like 10 minutes later and opened again. I'm like, they must be having issues.
I think we're trying to figure out how to like get together to begin with, and that was a thing all on itself. But you can catch that on the YouTubes later on from my Twitch stream VODs I upload to YouTube at youtube.com/FistCake. We're going to be having Devil May Cry 5, Resident Evil 2, Eevee playing Binding of Isaac, more JoJo. The fun never ends. The content never ends. It's always happening. Oh God, make it stop. And then on Twitter, I tweet sometimes at the FistCake. Nothing notable there this week. So what about you two?
All right. Well, you can catch us on YouTube and on Twitch at the same handle, Neanderthal Gaming TV. We stream most days. We've got some stuff in the works, so things are a little bit wonky when it comes to exactly what we're playing. But every Wednesday, of course, we do Into the Veil with FistCake. And
most Wednesdays,
as many as we can. Monday and Tuesday, we'll be doing something with Road Rage Gaming. And of course, on the weekends, we do Smash. You can catch us on Twitter at NeanderthalGTV. That's where you can find information. Just follow Matt and the wonderful adventures he goes on in the Twitter lands. And we're still working on trying to figure out how we can get the notifications work really well from the YouTube video, so you know when stuff goes live. And we have a tweet that goes out when we go live on Twitch, don't we?
Yeah, we should.
All right. Well,
probably not anymore.
We should probably double check on that, because that's where you should be able to follow us to find out stuff like that. But as far as Content Complete specific information goes, you can check us out on Twitter at ConComcast, where you can find information about the podcast and Into the Veil. You can send us ideas and suggestions to contentcompletecast@gmail.com. The podcast goes live at 3 p.m. Pacific time on Sundays. All episodes are available on YouTube, and the audio-only version is available on your favorite podcasting app. Both are released on Mondays, so we stream on Sunday and released on Mondays. And on Twitch, it is twitch.tv/contentcomplete. Any last words, guys?
Get her done.
All right, sick.
Yep. All right, peace.
Thanks, everyone, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye. Uh-oh. Oh.